You know, we found a clip. This is you actually interviewing your father.
I remember driving home with you to Nacum a number of times and talking the whole time because you'd never stop asking questions.
Yeah, well, hasn't changed much. I think I remember mostly when I was a little kid reading with you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, that was great. That was so much fun.
I thought so.
I can see how moved you are, Jordan, understandably.
I have no remorse for this man. It's a very sad situation where he's lost his father.
Yes.
But we have to understand Peterson is a very evil individual.
Yes.
And here Piers Morgan is humanizing his father, which is a good thing to do.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
why can we not humanize the Palestinians? Why are they just numbers, 40,000?
Zombie scrolling is making you dumber, depressed, and killing your spirituality. Join the zombie scrolling course so you can learn the 3 steps to take charge of your life.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters and dear friends. Hope you guys are well, inshallah. I'm here with Sabur Ahmed. Assalamu alaikum, bro. How you doing? Alhamdulillah. We do our little mini classes here every Thursday, and also sometimes we react to videos. So if there's any videos you would like us to react to, please comment it. And every week, Thursday, we'll react to it, and Friday, we'll release the video, inshallah. In the meantime, if you're zombie scrolling like me, you addict, crackhead, tell us a bit about this zombie scrolling.
Zombie scrolling makes you dumber, depressed, and it's something that's killing your life goals because you're focusing on instant gratification rather than long-term success. So join the zombie scrolling course and you will turn your phone grey like Ali did, but then he stopped doing it.
I think you're talking to me. I felt that. It really hit me. So guys, if you are watching this, there's a description in the description box and the comment section. Check it out, inshallah, guys. It is a constant struggle, but get up, stand up, don't give up the fight. That's what Bob Marley said. But anyways, let's go to what this little peasant is saying.
It was discovered that your father had died several weeks ago and found an obituary. I don't know whether you wrote this obituary. One of the family did, and it talked about Dad. So it's one of the three
Yes, I
children.
wrote it.
It was you. I thought it was because I read it and I found it unbelievably moving. I was going to leave it to the end, but since you've mentioned it now, first of all, my deepest condolences on losing a remarkable man. I mean, even if I didn't know the connection, I just read this about somebody, I would think what a remarkable life he had. He had 3 children, 4 grandchildren. He was a great grandfather to 4 more. He grew up in Norway in a log cabin. But then, as you said, he lived outdoors, shooting, hunting, bird watching, trapping, cross-country skiing, canoeing. And he was an enthusiastic collector of single-shot rifles. I love this detail. That he loved their simplicity, their design and craftsmanship. More importantly, he loved the precision of these rifles. And he liked the fact that a single-shot rifle only allowed for 1 bullet as a hunter, dead center. And that epitomized to you the care and attention that he put into his work. And he was a beautiful gunsmith and craftsman, all of these things. And then became a teacher and was quite a tough disciplinarian. You say he could be fearsome, you know, acting up in Waddy's class was not the world's best idea. And as a result, there wasn't much trouble
No, that
there.
was definitely true.
But he loved kids too, and he was great with them. And as I was reading all this...
Bro, is it me? Look at his face. He's literally like, and look, I'll be honest with you. If we just said this little poisonous individual, Peterson, he did not make those statements about the Palestinians, telling Netanyahu to give them hell. Let's put that aside. Let's act as if that's never happened. I would sympathize with this. He's reading, and this moron is what Piers Morgan, the way he's emphasizing it.
But look, I do want to say something, Ali, right? Look at even like, it's a very sad situation where he's lost his father.
Yes.
But we have to understand Peterson is a very evil individual.
Yes.
And here Piers Morgan is humanizing his father, which is a good thing to do.
That's what I'm
but
saying.
why can we not humanize the Palestinians? Why are they just numbers, 40,000, 50,000?
That was my point. That's why I said, let's just act as if Piers Morgan never defended Israel. Peterson never said give them hell. Let's put that out of our memory. That never happened. You will sympathize with this. You'll feel like your heart a bit aching in the sense where it's not my father, but I can hear how deeply he's hurt. Correct? As a human being, we would do that. And Islam tells us to sympathize with people's emotions. However, very bizarrely, like you said, which is the point here, look at him describing his dad, and he was a shooter and he did this, and he's getting emotional. Look at the price they give to life of shall I say, a Caucasian man, a Western man, and the way he's describing it and the respect he gives,
his rifles,
his
it's selective outrage.
It's selective outrage, and look at him nearly breaking down, crying. These are normal human reactions. The question we're asking is the following: as a human being that is so upset about his own father, how can it be that you are seeing what the Palestinians are going through, but you do not have the same reaction, both of them?
In fact, you encourage
Yes.
that type of action. And we
Yes.
have to remember something, right? Someone like him, and, you know, he is somebody who clearly does understand his own influence. He's whether we like it or not, he's one of the most influential people on the planet. Now, someone like him giving a blanket statement like "give them hell," what is he basically doing? He is creating a situation where it's like "give them hell." It's part of that narrative that it's all about self-defense and this and that, and we know before. October the 7th, what the hell were the Israelis doing to the Palestinians for years?
Exactly.
He was quiet. He went and he can't be so naive that he doesn't know what was happening. He can't be so naive that he's not giving a blank, if you like, check to the Israelis in terms of, you have my full support. And after that point, did he come out and say, how can you level hospitals? How can you level schools? How can you level mosques? How can you kill children? How can you kill women? This conflict, so many journalists were killed. So him and Murray and all these other shills, they are openly selling themselves to Israel. And do you know what? He's lost a lot of support.
Of course he does.
Even he lost support before then, but that moment he lost a lot of support.
To me, we're going to carry on watching it, guys. To me, it's like Hitler not having remorse of the people that he killed, or should we talk about Leonard II, who killed 10 million Congolese, which were not taught in schools, by the way, crying.
Because they're black? They were not being remembered?
Not even shedding a tear for the 10 million Congolese or Hitler, the 6 million Jews that he massacred, whatever. But he gets upset when one of his soldiers die. It's bizarre like that. But anyways, let's carry on.
The fact that a single shot rifle only allowed for one bullet as a hunter, dead center, and that epitomized to you the care and attention that he put into his work. And he was a beautiful gunsmith and craftsman, all of these things. And then became a teacher and was quite a tough disciplinarian. You say he could be fearsome, acting up in Wally's class was not the world's best idea. And as a result, there wasn't much trouble there.
That was definitely true.
But he loved kids too, and he was great with them. And as I was reading all this, I was just thinking, wow, okay, I get it now. I get where Jordan has got all this from. There are so many parts of your dad's character in you, clearly. I mean, do you feel that? When you wrote this obituary, did you feel that really quite intensely?
Well, you pointed to that detail with regards to these rifles. Like, my father had 300 rifles. This was a real obsession, and he was a very good shot. He was a provincial level shot. And it took me 30 years to figure out why the hell he collected those guns. I don't think he knew. And I told him 5 years ago, I said, Dad, I figured out why you're so obsessed with rifles. I said, it's because you want to hit the target dead center with one shot.
His dad loved kids.
Piers is, really just praising Jordan here.
Yes.
And they're both shills.
Yes.
They're both shills for the Israeli propaganda machine. And what's basically going on here? Is this the way that he conducts an interview with other guests?
No.
So when he brings on Palestinians whose families have been affected, does he begin the interview by saying, Palestinian ambassador, like he's had, and saying basically, I know your family has suffered in the Nakba? None of that.
None.
Go straight for the jugular, this and that. Do you condemn Israel? Do you condemn Hamas?
Exactly.
So this just shows you the power of framing. How do you frame the discussion? Humanizing him.
Exactly.
And right now, Piers is supposed to be a journalist, right? Right now, the question should be, didn't you say, because remember, Piers has criticized Israel. He has not. Didn't you say, give them hell? Don't you feel the same pain that you have for your father? Don't you feel for the mothers and the fathers and the children in Palestine?
Exactly.
Like, what the hell's going on?
That's
but look at how he's completely switched character.
Yeah. It's you cannot make this stuff up, bro. It's like two different people. It's like bipolar behavior.
I feel that Peterson's taken a battering.
Yeah.
And through the death of his father and the reminder about that death, they're trying to bring him back, and they're trying to make Piers look good. They're trying to make Peter.
Yes.
This is basically a propaganda,
Yes,
a fine piece of propaganda to bring Peterson back into this. So even if you come across someone as evil as Hitler and you show a child's photo of him, he was nice to a pet, somebody may start sympathizing.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's basically what's going on here.
That's what's happening.
My father was a tough man, and so he was the fire chief of the local town as well. And the adventure for him was his ability to prevail. And as you pointed out, the log cabin that he grew up in was actually in Saskatchewan. His parents were pioneers, and like the log cabin that he grew up in still stood when I was a kid. We used to go out there. He was quite sentimentally attached to it. But he was a pioneer type, my father. So, and he was great with little kids, great. And he spent a lot of time with me when I was little, a lot, and it made a huge difference to me.
We found a clip. This is you actually interviewing your father several years ago. Let's take a look at this.
I remember driving home with you to Nacum a number of times and talking the whole time because you'd never stop asking questions.
Yeah, well, hasn't changed much. I think I remember mostly when I was a little kid reading with you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, that was great. That was so much fun.
I thought so.
I can see how moved you are, Jordan, understandably.
I have no remorse for this man. I'm so sorry. I'm obviously that his father passed away in natural causes, by the way. Natural causes, age of life. Just imagine for a second, he talked about him being a child and his father, he loved kids, etc. Okay, no problem. Imagine somebody comes to his father's land, who's a shooter, who's a hunter, and takes over the house, or tries to harm Jordan Peterson as a child. What do you think his father would have done?
Shot that person.
And he's precise. He said he had that one shot. He was very precise with that, yes? He put his mind to something. Would that man defend his family?
Absolutely.
His house, his property, his honor. Correct, yeah? The same people that are doing that in Palestine are called what? Terrorists. And what is Jordan Peterson saying to those leaders who are carrying out those massacres, that genocide? Give them hell. You can't make this up, bro. Well, I'm just thinking, is this a separate Jordan Peterson? How does one acknowledge him as a child, his connection to his father, and see fathers carrying their blown up children, and you can in the same breath say, give them hell? I don't buy it, man. You are an evil man.
Absolutely.
You are an evil man.
Absolutely. And when we're talking about this particular issue, we're talking about things that go back decades, right? And there's always this thing about people misconstruing what we're saying.
Yeah.
We're not saying anything about Hamas. We're not saying anything about any particular group or endorsing violence. What we're saying is, look at your mindset.
Yes.
You have such a mindset that, people who are coming and attacking and killing and raping and pillaging, you basically are encouraging them.
Yes.
Like, what kind of madness is this? And here, when it comes to your father and what happened, you're emotional about it, you're sad about it. Like, it all just doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. But this guy makes me sick. I'll be honest. I have no remorse for you. Yes, your dad passing away. Again, sorry to hear that. But you as an individual, you crying. Let me tell you something. My heart hasn't moved a single bit because you are an evil man. So to me, I'll be honest. Do you want to carry on? I don't want to watch this guy's face anymore. Is there anything else you want to watch?
To be honest, no. I mean,
it's done.
this is what it's about. I mean, when it comes to us as human beings, we have a moral sense.
Yeah.
Nobody, no Muslim, no Christian, no Jew, no atheist, no agnostic, reasonable people will come to the conclusion you shouldn't kill innocent people, you shouldn't kill unarmed people, you shouldn't do these types of things. Yet you have a guy who will go, and he knows what the Israelis have done in the past. He's not an idiot. He knows what they've done in the past. He knows the power that they have and how weak the other side is. They don't have any air defenses. They don't have nothing. And he's basically telling them, give them hell. But by his own father, he wants to cry. He wants to be emotional.
This man's bipolar, bro.
It's like those people who watch Nazi old films, right?
Yeah.
They forget all the horrors of World War II, even British people, and they're like, look at what great orator Hitler was.
Yeah.
They just look at one little aspect and they forget everything else. And this is the thing we have to keep in mind. He is fundamentally somebody that became popular because of a moral issue. He wanted to take a stance against the trans people, right? Or pronouns or whatever it was. I don't remember. But that was it. It was a moral issue. He wanted to stand up, freedom of speech. And what is he doing? He's using the platform that he's been given to promote the greatest atrocity of our times.
Exactly, and just on this note is that, like you said, his movement started with the whole transgender movement, etc., whatever, those who are castrating themselves. So he wanted to save these children who have been brainwashed into castrating themselves. And in Israel, there are snipers targeting private parts of young boys. Yes? You can't make this stuff up, bro. You're an evil dirtbag. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say, inshallah. And brothers and sisters, you can see the double standards and hypocrisy. The whole world can see it. Again, that's all we have to say. If you want us to react to any other videos every Thursday, please do let us know. Till next time, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.